When flames erupted at Cuba's oil refinery this week, officials rushed to assure the public it was quickly contained. But the fire itself isn't the real story. The real story is what happens when a nation's energy lifeline becomes so thin that any disruption threatens to snap it entirely. Cuba's electricity grid has been failing for months. Rolling blackouts have become the norm, not the exception. Fuel shortages mean people wait in lines for hours just to fill their tanks, if fuel is available at all. This isn't just about one Caribbean island. It's a preview of what happens when energy infrastructure reaches its breaking point. Here's what energy experts don't want you to know. Every power grid operates closer to its limits than most people realize. The margin for error is smaller than you think. Cuba's situation reveals three critical vulnerabilities that exist everywhere. Single points of failure. When one refinery fire can cripple a nation's energy supply, you're seeing infrastructure designed without redundancy. But look closer to home. How many power plants serve your city? How many transmission lines? Aging infrastructure. Cuba's energy systems, like those in many countries, were built decades ago for a different world. The average age of power plants in the U.S.? Over 40 years. In Europe? Similar numbers. Supply chain dependencies. Cuba depends heavily on fuel imports, making it vulnerable to external shocks. But every nation depends on something. Rare earth minerals for renewables, natural gas for backup power, oil for transportation. Cuba's energy crisis sends ripples far beyond its borders. When nations face energy shortages, they become desperate buyers in global markets, driving up prices for everyone. We've seen this pattern before. Europe's energy crisis after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Texas during the 2021 winter storm, California during rolling blackouts. Each crisis follows the same script: underestimated vulnerabilities, cascading failures, and global price spikes. Smart investors and policymakers are already tracking these indicators in their own regions. Grid stress reports. When utilities start issuing energy conservation requests, pay attention. Infrastructure age. Power plants and refineries built in the 1970s to 80s are approaching end of life. Import dependencies. Nations importing more than 50% of their energy face Cuba-level vulnerabilities. Maintenance backlogs. Deferred maintenance is often the first domino to fall. Cuba's predicament might actually speed up the global transition to renewable energy. When traditional energy infrastructure fails this dramatically, it creates political will for alternatives that seemed too expensive or complicated before. Countries watching Cuba struggle are asking themselves, could this happen to us? The answer is uncomfortable, but it's driving investment in distributed solar and wind systems, energy storage technologies, grid modernization projects, and energy efficiency programs. The irony? Cuba's crisis might make the world's energy systems more resilient in the long run. Cuba's energy crisis reveals vulnerabilities that exist in every nation's infrastructure. When single points of failure meet aging systems and supply chain dependencies, the margin for error disappears. The early warning signs are there if you know what to look for. This is Straight Context, giving straight context to latest news.